Hello all, and I'm author Daniel Coolbaugh. I always want to do my intro because it's been 6 years for my podcast, the Fantasy and Sci-Fi Fanatics podcast. So it's hilarious every time I do that. You think I would be used to doing something else by now, but I am author Daniel Coolbaugh. I also run the Fantasy and Sci-Fi Fanatics podcast. I just want to talk today about a series that is near and dear to me, and that is the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. And of course, book one is Stormfront. And Stormfront gets a lot of flack. All right. I had read Stormfront. I think I had finished up. Let's see. I had finished up Iron Druid Chronicles and Hounded, and then I kept going. And at a certain point, I think I got to like Besieged. I think I had just moved here, and I was like, yeah, I definitely had just moved here. And I had a kid, a student of mine. He gave me Stormfront, and I had another student. She gave me Stormfront. Like they were like bringing me more books. They're like, "Hey, my parents bought this for me. Hey, I read this. Hey, this was really great." And one of my students, her and I had so many like great talks about why she loved the Dresden Files. And it was so interesting because she told me right off the bat, like, "Hey, a lot of people don't like the first three books as much." Yada yada, like blah blah blah. And I was like, okay. And I have grown up seeing Jim Butcher's covers, and I very specifically remember like seeing them at different times. And I remember seeing, I can't remember like which ones I saw, but I remember seeing them like my grandpa was in the hospital and we go down to the gift shop to kind of take a break after he's out of surgery and stuff. And I remember seeing Jim Butcher there for sure. I remember seeing that, Harry in the wide brimmed hat, cowboy hat, his stave glowing, and his black duster, of course, and then his famous pentacle necklace that his mom gave him. So I have seen his covers for so long, and I grew up loving the covers. And but when I picked him up, I just thought, oh, at the time it wasn't for me. So then after I read Hounded and Iron Druid Chronicles, I'm looking for something new to read. I'm waiting on Besieged to come out. I think we just moved here to Central New York, and I remembered, in my stuff that one of my students had given me Stormfront, Full Moon. I didn't have, I think that's what they gave me. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it. And I picked up Stormfront and literally read it within a couple days, like 4 days max, with work, masters, stuff like that. And I loved it. So I don't really understand what the issue is with other people in liking Stormfront, but I admit, like the other ones, I think it's like my least favorite, because all the other ones I think just kind of hit me a little different, but it's still a freaking amazing book. So it's really interesting. So this is book one out of 18, the Dresden Files, and this is the blurb. So as a professional wizard, Harry Dresden knows firsthand that the everyday world is actually full of strange and magical things, and most of them don't play well with humans, and those that do enjoy playing with humans far too much. He also knows he's the best at what he does. Technically, he's the only at what he does, but even though Harry is the only game in town, business, to put it mildly, stinks. So when the Chicago PD bring him to consult on a double homicide committed with black magic, Harry's seeing dollar signs. But where there's black magic, there's a black mage behind it, and now the mage knows Harry's name. So there are some things in this series that I love, like right off the bat. I loved the world building. We're in Chicago. I loved how Jim Butcher made the magical community and the supernatural community in Chicago feel. I love absolutely how he made us, really get to understand Harry right off the bat. He's like like labeled this black mage for a particular reason from his past, and he's trying to do better. And now that he knows better, and I think we've all been there, which was awesome. And I think he did a really good job with that. Next, we understand that Harry, you find out really quickly, like he can't use certain technology and things because of his wizardly power. So I think that was a super cool cap. So it's like, I had done To Kill a Unicorn by John Corwin. He does not have that problem. The mages do not have that problem. Wizards and sorcerers do not have that problem, at least as a book one in his series. So it's interesting to see the contrast. But that's one thing I've always really liked is like Harry has to figure out how to not use this, be able just to call or use the internet and stuff like that. So he's got to go and make contacts. He's got to go and have actual conversations with people. He's got to use his magic to find, answers and things. Then, he can't like just hop on a plane. Chances are it won't go too well. So he's got an older car. He's got older like tech and stuff. It's really like computers and circuitry and stuff like that, and like newer technology that Wizardly Magic does not really go well with. And that was like super cool. I really liked Bob. Bob the Skull is always an interesting character. If you guys know Bob, Bob's awesome. Love Bob so much. I wrote kind of a similar type of relationship in my Spellbinder short story, The Trouble with Spellbound Rings, as well as in the series itself. You find out how essentially he gets his type of Bob-like relationship, and we kind of go from there. And I really love the James Marsden is just the absolute best narrator. Like, I'm sorry, like I do not think anybody else could have done like Jim Butcher's writing or Harry's like character justice. Like, I love Luke Daniels. There's certain characters that I love their voices for that I just think are perfect, and Luke Daniels does an amazing Atticus, and I think he nailed like Owen Kennedy, his mentor. I think Granuel in particular, he really did a really good job. But I mean, James Marsden absolutely crushes this cast of characters, particularly Harry's character, and he really makes you feel like Harry's character come to life, which I absolutely love. And this was a total like urban fantasy gumshoe detective noir story. I think some people go back now and read it, and after looking at like I said, some of the other books, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I fell in love with this character, this series, the secondary characters. Yeah, like Detective Murphy is absolutely like one of my favorite characters of all time, Karen Murphy, and I think he did an amazing job with this first book, opening us up to this amazing world. So I think it lives up to the hype. Personally, I know some people they start with book 2. I'm doing like I did like a series video. So check that out. I'm gonna be doing one on all of them. I've read every book up until I'm trying to get caught up. I think I'm at Skinwalker or Skin Game. Yeah, so I'm at Skin Game. So I got 15, 16, 17, 18, and then a couple of the anthologies and things like that. So I'll be doing a bunch of these this week and giving them to you guys. But a lot of people start with like Grave Peril, which is book 3. I know a lot of people start with Summer Night. Summer Night's one of my favorite books of all time. But I really loved doing them in order, and we get that increased world building. So I love Stormfront. Full Moon was one of my favorite books in the series, one of my favorite books of all time. Grave Peril, and then Summer Night, baby. And then it just keeps going from there. So amazing series. Definitely check it out. Make sure if you are have read it or have read the series itself, please let me know in the comments what you thought. Love to hear your thoughts and opinions. But other than that, please make sure you check out the description. Our Kickstarter, Arcane Awakenings Urban Fantasy Anthology cover drops today, which is Monday, July 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know this video will go out after that. But make sure you check out our cover because it has been revealed and it is amazing. It's by Midblart, and we actually just got the name of the artist and designer, so I cannot wait to give them credit. 100% human made from start to finish, so make sure you guys check that out. That includes the art and the stories, so please make sure you check out www.authordanielcoolbaugh.com. I promise tonight after I'm done and tomorrow after I'm done with our anthologies cover reveal that I'll update my website for all the amazing things that I have going on because there's a lot of them. So make sure you guys check out my stuff as well. And our inner anthology, I have my story, No Rest for the Wicked. And then in the Rings of Adventure anthology, down here in the description of this video, I also have my story, The Trouble with Spellbound Rings. So 2 different urban fantasy characters. Hope you check them out. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And as always, happy reading, my friends. See you guys.